We are doing the wonderful world of Tani Otoshi, which is this. Way. That's Tani Otoshi. Tani Otoshi is a throw that gets a bit of a bad rap in jiu-jitsu because in people who don't know how to do it, it causes a lot of injuries. We've actually had 2 quite serious injuries in this club, 1 fractured leg and 1 knee injury that has required 2 surgeries and has taken someone out for over a year. The reason that people end up injuring other people and sometimes themselves is because they treat this throw like a trip. People attack the legs, and that's not what this is. My leg is not going to touch Howard, and he's still going to fall over. Because the idea of this throw is it's a drop. My body weight is connecting to Howard's body weight, and I'm taking it backward. I want to show you guys what normally causes injury. In judo, this very rarely injures people, but when it does, the mechanisms that tend to have been identified are I'm hipping in and I'm collapsing that knee inwards, or the one that has caused the worst injuries here, I'm putting my weight into here, the back of his shins. His knees travel forward and his upper body goes backwards. This is the same mechanism of injury that you see in scissor takedowns and why scissor takedowns are banned everywhere. Because that right there is fracture, it's ACL rupture, it's meniscal tear, it's everything all at once. And even worse is if you get someone that does both.
It should be duly noted that despite Tani Otoshi being a top 10 ippon scoring throw, used extensively in judo from recreational level competition all the way through to elite level competition in the Olympic Games and World Championships, it causes so few knee injuries that I was actually unable to find any references to it whatsoever in the literature, and I've actually had to adapt these mechanisms from similar enough throws that are mentioned in Koshida and colleagues and in Sasaki and colleagues, both of whom identify situations where during kosotogari someone either drops their weight onto someone's leg, similarly to what would happen in Tani Otoshi done incorrectly, or where they hip in to someone's knee, causing it to valgus and collapse inwards.
This is why this technique gets banned in jiu-jitsu gyms, because nobody knows how to do it. But if you look at the statistics in judo, this doesn't even enter into like the top 4 or 5 throws for knee injury. So we're going to start out by essentially just hugging our partner, nice underhook, I'm getting close to his hip or on the hip line, and all I'm going to do initially is sit back down. I'm not going to stick my leg anywhere. So my hips are nice and close to Howard's and slightly back of his. If I'm forward, I'm not going to be taking my body weight far enough back relative to his body. This is literally all I'm going to do. I'm going to sit down, and this is what you're going to do for the first few minutes. The reason you get your leg behind them is to A, give yourself a better position to get on top, and to B, get your body weight further behind them. You can see the problem with actually finishing in this position, because when I do fall over, if Howard is quick and he scrambles, oh dear, I've died. Yeah. But I want you guys to get very familiar with this feeling. As absolutely ridiculous as that looks, that's literally what Tani Otoshi is. Right now, I want you to grab a partner, I want you to get some appropriate space, I want you to hug them nice and close, get their hip close to yours, yours slightly back, and I want you just to sit down. Grab a partner, we'll start there. 1, 2. We are going to just do the entrance. So, my foot on the left-hand side, which is my supporting leg, is facing slightly that way. My foot on the right-hand side is going to slide. And you're going to notice that my hips go down. My weight is going to come onto this hip, and then I'm going to bridge at the end. Sit, bridge. I want you guys to get very used to the idea that you're squatting on this leg, and you're not driving in with your hips. This is where things go wrong. Squatting, sitting, bridging. Squatting, sitting, bridging. If I hear lots of boom, where people are hitting the ground like a sack of potatoes, people are doing things a little bit wrong. I want this to be a smooth slide. I'm controlling my descent. Squat, sit, bridge. Yeah, let's do it. 1, 2. We're now going to have someone who's got a bit more of a realistic overhook. This is where you do actually have to do the proper technique. If I just sit down, he's less likely to fall, and he can actually hold me up with that arm. I want Howard's left leg to be slightly in front of me, because if it's really far back, the only way I can try and attack it from here is badly. So I want to be making sure that no matter what, that's just ever so slightly forwards. We're going to talk about how to make that happen very shortly. This is now where I do exactly what we did in our drill just a moment ago. I'm squatting down here, and I'm just bringing this leg down to his ankles. I'm not needing to touch his legs at all. I'm getting my body weight far behind him, and I'm gluing my weight to his body. See, there might be some contact with his legs, but it's like a light brushing, and at no point are his legs restricted from moving, nor does my body weight go into them. To finish the technique and actually end up on top, I'm sitting back, I'm bringing my body weight down, and because I've got my nice bridge position, I'm coming up onto my toes, and I'm going straight into my side control. Right now, I just want you guys to be used to this. So I'm squatting down, sitting, bump. Sitting down, my leg goes straight, my weight's behind his, we're here, bridging. Grab a partner around the same weight as you, best you can. 1, 2. So we are at the flank position. Generally speaking, if I'm fighting in the flank, whether underhook or overhook, I either want a wrist or I want to be getting behind the tricep and getting an inside thigh control, and I want to be getting close to my opponent. But I want to talk first now about getting this leg into the position we want it. So if I just push Howard forward, it might be enough to expose the leg to do it. But most people aren't just going to allow it to stay long. So if I push and drop, I have to be sure I've created that and I'm immediately going for it. So I'm nice and tight and close. I bump and I push and I sit, and there's my throw. The real easy one. Yeah. It's this, Alex. Bump. Oh, shit. There's my throw. I bump, I make sure I'm using my thigh to do it, I'm staying nice and connected. Again, ideal world, I'm really tight and close, I've got full grips. But if I don't, I'm bumping and I'm sitting. There's my technique. Obviously I bridge and I get on top for my finish. The other more effective way to do this is if he has his leg back and we're fighting from a more open position here, I'm gonna start threatening entries where I'm coming across for some sort of hip to hip attack, where he has to hip in, where I'm coming in with my right leg and forcing, see how his leg is coming in? I'm making sure that I now have enough space and I'm dropping behind him. I step in for my fake hip throw, he hips in, that creates that space. Sit down, there's my technique. So if his leg's back quite far, if I enter and he does a hip in and I've got adequate aggression but he doesn't move his leg far enough forward, I'm still gonna win the throw. Sorry. So I need to be attacking with enough aggression and he has to be savvy enough. If that leg's really far back, my entry should force him to step forward, because a hip in here without stepping is not enough to prevent me from doing it. So that comes forward, my hips come quite far back, I'm making this space here, so I've got lots of room. And sitting down into my throw. Where things go wrong is often this. If I notice that the person has hipped in but hasn't brought that leg forward, I should also notice that I can still finish my throw. Yeah. Or at least still lift them onto my hip. Yeah. If I now try and go for my Tani with the leg far back, either it's not going to work and I'm going to slip off, or I do run the risk of collapsing that knee in. So if I am using this entry, I need to be 100% sure that my fake hip throw isn't just actually a real one that's going to work. Right now, I'm struggling to lift Howard. This is actually quite difficult, and there's my throw. Lots of space. Step in for my hip throw. Notice how this leg doesn't come all the way in front to give me that space to sit around and back. Lots of space to work with. As I come in for my hip throw, and he doesn't want to be thrown, that foot has to step forward, and I'm going all the way back, minimizing my contact with him. Let's give it a go. 1, 2. Want to make sure you guys just get a quick recap of both. So first one is I'm bumping, creating that space. Down we go, bringing his leg forward like that. And the second one, especially if he starts with the leg further back, is I'm faking a hip entry. He's having to block it with a hip. My hips come back and around and I sit back. At no point am I putting my weight through his leg, through his knee, through his calf. We are not sparring at the moment, but we are resisting in a specific and predictable manner. When we have someone who comes in for a hip throw, and we hip, so come in for a hip throw, and we hip in, I'm stepping forward with this leg. What we were doing there was leaving it here, and then Howard could hit his Tani nice and easy. What I want you guys to get used to is hipping in, and then immediately stepping back to here. Now if Howard tries to Tani Otoshi, because I've stepped back far enough, I'm able to get square to him to go for a full Tani, please. Yeah, it's buggered. I need you guys to have actual timing to make this work. So if Howard comes in for his hip throw and I hip in adequately, if I stay here, Tani happens. I need to go whoop and turn to face him. See how I'm now basically square? I want to make sure that I'm facing where he's going to be falling to make it less likely that my knee gets hurt. If I do get trapped here, I might fall, but I shouldn't be in a position where I'm at risk. I might just end up here and back up. I should not be trapping myself. But I want you guys to get used to this as an active drill where you're timing it. You don't go mega fast, but Howard comes in for a hip throw. I hip in and then I come back. If he stays there too long, he should feel that the throw is gone and not need to just drop down. You should be aware of it. So the way we're actually going to do this is I'm going to be either lifting Howard up because he hasn't hipped in enough, or sitting for Tani. But Howard should be giving me a bit of timing and a bit of space. He shouldn't be going super fast because this is my drill. Yep. It's just enough movement that I have to work for it. So I come to here, he hips in, and that should be enough time for me to get there, but he should still take that leg back. So if I wait for ages, I lose it. As you get more confident, you can do this with more speed, but one person is being the attacker and going in for a hip, and if he doesn't hip it enough, I lift him. If he hips in enough, I try and Tani. But if I'm too slow and he turns, I don't have it. With a little bit of speed, I hip in, he hips in, I come around to here, I've lost it. Okay, and I'm coming in for another one, and wait, there it is. That's what your drill should vaguely look like, right? Grab a partner, you're getting 2 minutes each. If you haven't had a drink, have a drink, and then after that, we'll do some more open sparring. You ready? 1, 2.